January 2nd, 2003, Gary Payton gets traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. A change to the timeline in a big way today. Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of our Seattle SuperSonics MyNBA. Yes, we have gone through with trading Gary Payton, like in real life. However, a major twist to that, we don't trade him to Milwaukee. There's a lot of context to give here. Let's take a look at that context here. Now, the reason for the timing, first things first, the injury bug. Second things second, the team was struggling mightily heading into the start of the new calendar year. Kenny Anderson, who was also a player traded in the 2002-03 real-world trade deadline, was someone I'd looked towards trading, but did not find anything really desirable. Then I looked towards the actual deal itself. Should we do it a couple weeks early? In NBA 2K24, this is one of the things they don't do well is the actual trade deadline when it comes to the legendary starts or the era starts. This is essentially the deal. We had to add Joseph Forte because this game also has a minimum roster total of 14 instead of 13, like it was back around 2002-2003, and all the way up to a couple years ago. This is essentially the deal that happened in real life, except with Forte added. However, you see it there. We do not have the ability to actually do the deal because Ray Allen is considered more valuable than Gary Payton and Desmond Mason and anything else combined. So, we look to the trade finder to see, was there anybody else on the block? This deal right here intrigued me with Cleveland. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Ricky Davis for Gary Payton, Desmond Mason, and a 2007 first-round pick. Now, if we're on the timeline we want, the pick is no big deal. What is a big deal is the content from Cleveland. This is a major shift to what happened in real life if we go with this. First things first, you're talking about taking two players who originally played with LeBron James in his first seasons in Cleveland. Ricky Davis, he fills a perimeter shooting need that the current team has. Zydrunas Ilgauskas fills a need of someone who is a consistent center presence at the starting spot. So after a lot of deliberation, thought, looking at the numbers, we did the deal. And that's how Gary Payton is now a Cleveland Cavalier. We also did this deal. We've signed Rafer Alston for the rest of the season to be our backup point guard and our starter for the next game on the schedule, at least due to injuries. No other trades ended up going through by this point. Now, I was going to show you the first game back with this new team. However, take a look. That makes me very sick. Yes, technical issues caused an issue there, and the reason you see the quality change, I've switched recording software for the rest of this series. Instead, we will be seeing Gary Payton's return come 2 years earlier than the real-life timeline. Desmond Mason, he'll be starting this game off on the bench for the Cavaliers. Cleveland is 2-2 since the deal. So is Seattle. They're 15-22 coming in. We look to improve from 17-18 as we take on the Cavs at Key Arena. How will things go in Gary's return? Let's find out. A week and a half ago, Gary Payton, the Glove, Desmond Mason, D-Mays were both traded away. Today, the return with the Cleveland Cavaliers to take on Seattle and its SuperSonics. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Key Arena. I'm Justin Prince. Both those players mentioned are in your starting fives tonight as they look to take on the hometown SuperSonics. In the starting lineups as well tonight, Big Z and Ricky Davis. They've started every game since the trade to Seattle. They look to try and get the upper hand against their former team. A lot to talk about as history unfolds this evening. A future Hall of Famer, Gary Payton, One of the rising stars, Desmond Mason, both return back to Seattle. We're underway from Key Arena. Payton takes it up after Cleveland's opening tip victory. Mason out to Boozer. Trying to work around screens. Mitch Richmond finding separation for the jumper. It splashes. Mitch Richmond starts off the scoring. Cleveland on the board, 1-for-1 to start. Kenny Anderson's taken over the starting roles after he came back from injury. Rafer Alston started off the new era with the start previous. Off the missed jumper from Davis. Richmond, fast break. Jay, good. And the 1989 Rookie of the Year makes the bucket. A 4-0 run to start for Cleveland. Anderson takes his time, now to Lewis. Radmanovich gets a screen back from Rashard Lewis. Back down to Big Z, draws the reach in. Mim caught for his first personal, first team foul. Inbound to Anderson. Trying to find some separation from Radmanovich. Now up to Lewis. Guarded by Mason. Radmanovich with 3 on the shot clock. Davis down low. Big Z gets a shot off, gets rejected for a shot clock violation.
The ball goes to Cleveland.
And the Cavaliers starting off strong. They came into tonight off a shellacking of sorts for the Los Angeles Lakers. 111-58 was the final score in their last game. It's dropped them to 15-22 coming in. 7 games below 500. Payton signs us up with Anderson. Screen from Mim. Pick and roll. Mim, separation, good. And the former 7th overall pick from 2000 gets the bucket. Cleveland with all the momentum, 90 seconds in. For those tuning in, SuperSonics TV Network, glad to have you with us here from Key Arena. Lewis gets Seattle on the board with the bucket close, and that breaks up the 6-0 run. Payton matched up with Anderson, and a reach-in drawn. Kenny Anderson called for the personal, first team foul. So since the trade, 2 straight victories, but they did start 0-for-2 initially. A 2-2 stint as talked about off the top. Seattle just a game below 500 entering tonight, 17-18. Mim. High post, right now Ilgauskas giving him separation. Payton gets separation for 3, runnels away. Fast break led by Anderson, now slow him back down. Davis has the one-on-one, now given down low, Lewis off the pump. Tries to go post, forced to regroup. 6 on the shot clock. Anderson working on the pick, gets the drive, goes to the line to shoot for 2. The team elected to keep Kenny Anderson for now. There's a lot of conversation on if he would be dealt potentially. They have said they will go with him for the rest of the way at least for the 2002-03 season. 1-for-2 at the stripe there for Anderson. 6-3 ball game as he pokes it loose from Payton. Cleveland basketball. With it, Richmond off the inbound. He goes to the line. Ricky Davis caught for the first personal, 2nd team foul. Mitch Richmond last time out picked up 7 points and 5 turnovers in the loss to the Lakers. He actually won a title with the Lakers back in 2002. Richmond makes the second, an 8-3 start for Cleveland. See what Nate McMillan can try and get sparked here for him and his SuperSonics. Lewis tries to spark from beyond the arc. Again, off the mark are the SuperSonics. Cleveland, one of the lower scoring teams coming in below 9 points per game. Having the turnover there. Anderson, kick to Radmanovich. Back to Anderson, forced to reset. Fast break broken up. Big Z goes low post. First time today, stops it in Mim's face. Big Z uses the size and stuffs it right back home. And that may just about break up the run there. So far, he's been a big pickup for Seattle, by the way. 16 points and 9 rebounds last time out for Big Z. Richmond sizing up Davis. Give it instead around back to Payton. 6 on the shot clock again. Hayden goes on the roll, kicks out to Boozer, inside the arc, good. Carlos Boozer, one of the surprise rookies this season, continuing to do well this year. A double-double candidate and a one-time national champion with Duke. So far, Boozer is in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. At the line, Ricky Davis makes the second. 12-7 your score, just about 5 minutes into the first quarter of play. Gary Payton coming off a last game struggle bus, but just 4 points. So far being kept quiet in his return to Seattle. Richmond over top Big Z, rebound by Lewis. Anderson pushes the tempo higher. Now forced to slow it back down yet again. Good get back on from Mason. Anderson to Lewis. Back to Davis. To Big Z. Over Boozer this time. He goes and dunks it over Boozer this time. Big Z continuing to have his way down low. 2 slams on 2 shots. Mason. Now to Boozer. Worked out to Richmond for the 3. Rattles loose. Seattle's been trying to push the tempo each time, forced to slow it down with the get-back defense. Big Z, pick and roll, count it, and the foul. And Zydrunas Ilgauskas has gotten Seattle within range to tie it at 12.
At the line for the SuperSonics.
Ilgauskas so far this season, 80% for the free throw line. He makes the free throw. We're tied at 12. Hayden goes for an alley-oop, intercepted by Lewis. Davis sizes back Payton. Out to Lewis. To Big Z again. Big size mismatch over Richmond, good. 9 points in a row for Ilgauskas. And a big stretch from Big Z to stretch into the ball game. Anderson steals it away. Here comes Ricky Davis, trying to draw contact, still gets the bucket. Timeout, Cleveland. The Cavaliers want to talk it over. 16-12, Seattle. Second free throw from James, good. And Big Snaps makes the lead up to 11. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Seattle has maintained control for those who stepped away. They've been able to keep the momentum for much of the first quarter since the Big Z charge that led them into the ballgame. Wagner, jump shot, swish. So Dewan Wagner makes the jumper. The NIT tournament MVP brings it back to single digits. Davis responds with a 3 of his own, misses, second chance, Berry, contested, still goes. 32-year-old gets the bucket. Brent Berry, effective on the boards this year. Shot in response, swish past Berry. Minute to go in the first quarter of play after the jump shot. Alston so far has been somewhat solid in his start to his time here in Seattle. After the initial start to the season, 7 points per game and 5 assists. He runs point for the play. Davis runs to the bucket for the shot made. Ricky Davis, once again the bucket. Showing why he's Ricky Buckets. Drive wide open, left open for Payton. Quick chance for a 2-for-1, doesn't look like it may happen. 24 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Davis drives, again good. Ricky Davis with 11 in the first. Ricky Davis already half of his season average against his old team to start things off tonight. Shot clock is off. Payton slows it down. No screens coming up to help Gary yet. Now they get the screen, this time from Hill. Hill pumps for the buzzer, beats it. With 0.3 seconds left, Tyrone Hill hits the bucket. And after 1 quarter of play, 33-25 is your score line. You're watching SuperSonics TV. Seattle leads by 8. Welcome back to the return of the glove and return of D-Mays. JustinPSports with you here on SuperSonics TV. In the first quarter of play, the SuperSonics lightning fast from the field. 62% after an ice-cold start. They finished the quarter shooting above 80% past the first 4 minutes. Anderson looking for screens now from Drobniak. Anderson with 2, with 1, passed off to Alston for the buzzer. Another one rolls around the rim. Hayden. Slow him back down. He looks to try and sort out where the lanes open up. Now pass down to Miles. No good from Darius Miles. Second chance, no. Third chance, Miles picks up the board. Resets to Wagner. Now looks down below the cup. Instead passes it to Diop. Already 12 on the shot clock. Almost a minute into the quarter. Now it's Jermaine Jones. This one doesn't go either. Anderson to Alston. They're the guards now with Lewis alongside Radmanovic. Drobniak, your 5 for Seattle. Lewis forces a pump, passes away. Now looks for Alston. Seconds to work with now to 6 on the shot clock. Back to Radmanovic to 3 on the shot clock. Passed out to Lewis for 3. No. And another one goes for Brick. Shot in response. Bricks again. It's Wagner on the miss. Almost 2 minutes into the second quarter of play here on SuperSonics TV. We're glad to have you with us via pay-per-view or over the air tonight. 33-25, your score. Alston, another miss from beyond the arc. Rafer Alston having some struggles from there. Hayden tries to get a 3 of his own. No, second chance is good from Jones. Jermaine Jones, the former first-team SEC member from 1999 on the bucket. Cleveland now within 6. Alston, pick and roll. Radmanovic rejected by Jones. Alston draws contact. He'll shoot some free throws for Seattle. We talked about the averages earlier. Just 4 games played. He started off the season and half the season, in fact, playing overseas. He did not get an NBA contract to start off the season. There were conversations to maybe sign with the Toronto Raptors that fell through at the end of training camp. The cut inside, contact. Wagner to the line to shoot 1.
Personal foul. First team foul.
So DeJuan Wagner to complete the end 1. About 12 points per game this season on 41% shooting, able to complete set and 1 opportunity. Wagner, of course, picking up the NIT championship along with that tournament MVP last season. Slam down low, Big C on the bucket. 36-30, just about 3 minutes into your second quarter from Key Arena. Hayden, open screen by Boozer. Ilgauskas now switches onto him. Boozer left open, swatted loose. Lewis to the floor, Boozer to the shot. Second chance, he still puts it in. Boozer on the first miss, Boozer on the first make. From him down low in the past little bit. Outside Ilgauskas, Lewis. Pick and roll set up with Big Z. Lewis takes it himself, misses. Second chance, Ilgauskas rejected. Third chance, Radmanovic to the line to shoot. So Radmanovic with the chance for some free throws here makes the first of 2. So far, Seattle's had an interesting year when it comes to the point tallies. One of the top 5 offenses in scoring and top 10 in field goal percentage, but still getting outscored on average 105.6 points per game. Now, with that allowed average, it's one of the highest point differential negative totals this season in the NBA for those with this high of a points per game tally. Offensive foul, Cavaliers turn it over. 55-42, just about closing out the first half of play. Looking for a little bit of space is Blasio. Gets rejected by Lewis. Barry on the break. Tries to draw contact, does. Mason coughs the personal.
Personal foul.
Brett Berry, very quiet and struggling tonight. 17%, misses the first of two. He's had a non-concrete role, you could say. Sometimes the starting shooting guard. Now he's off the bench as one of the 6 men, if not the 6-man option. Jump shot misses. Lazio not able to get that to fall. Berry running point to close out the half. Pick from Drobniak. Work back to Ricky Davis. Ricky buckets, looking for some more. Has made once in the first quarter, no. Drobniak gets the putback though. Final minute of play in the first half. 58-42. The cut by Mason, stuff. Desmond Mason able to roll into the paint. Cavaliers still trail by 14. Lewis. Trying to work, trying to search. Davis works towards the corner, double team, near triple team with the zone. Lewis gets his pocket separation for the bucket. The catch and shoot for Lewis. He's got 10 points so far tonight. About a 14-second different shot clock, game clock, doesn't matter with the personal. And that's gonna put Lazio to the line. So far, 4 points tonight. First is good. Still down by 15 after the second make. Now it's a 9 to 10 second different shot clock and game clock after the free throw trip from the bonus. Drobniak, Lewis, pick and roll by Lewis, one around to the other side. Berry to Davis, the three. Now that falls for the first time this quarter. Ricky Davis, one of the stars of tonight, 14 points against his old team. Lazio, again, to the line. Second free throw is good. Cavaliers trail 17, shot clock is off. Davis has a lot of players going back and forth in the paint. He wants to take the last shot of the half. Davis, step back, misses. And Seattle able to step forward on the scoreboard by a mile. 64-47 at the half. You're watching SuperSonics TV. Welcome back to Key Arena and the Emerald City for tonight's coverage of SuperSonics basketball against the Cavaliers. They have the advantage up 17. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, so far 26 points for Seattle in his first matchup against his former team. Near perfect from the field. Can he keep it up in the second? We'll see. Third quarter play underway. Kenny Anderson, Ricky Davis, Big Z, Rashard Lewis, Vladimir Radmanovic, your 5. Anderson trying to draw some contact, still gets a bucket over Boozer. Just the second made field goal tonight from Kenny Anderson there. He's got 5 points so far. Hayden, very quiet in the first half of play. Looking for a lot more this second half. Richmond finding Mim, rejected by Big Z. Here comes Anderson. Once again, good get-back defense showcased by the Cavs. Big Z trying to get it off the pick and roll, misses. Down the floor, it's Richmond. Getting separation, but not the luck. No good from Richmond. And we're almost a minute into this third quarter of play here from Seattle. So far, in control, the SuperSonics. Big Z, again, second straight miss. Looking for a make, goes 1 for 3 now for the quarter. Took a few attempts, but Big Z able to get his first bucket down low with this frame. Richmond draws a lot of contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Richmond so far 10 points tonight on 33% shooting. He's one of the leading scorers for the Cavaliers with how things have gone. In fact, is in the point category. Second's good, 12 points now for Mitch. Now Gary Payton, we talked about him looking for a lot more. He wants a lot more than a 3-for-7 start. 6 points for Gary Payton, all on layups. 5 assists for the glove. Davis behind the back to Lewis. Now working with Big Z again. Pick and roll, open for the dunk. 30 points for Ilgauskas. And Ilgauskas continuing a cavalcade of points from inside the paint. On the drive and the alley-oop, missed and thrown away. Davis now goes to Richmond over top for the shot. Second chance, puts it back, puts it through. A combined 46 of the 72 points are right now from the former Cleveland Cavaliers, now Supersonic members. Outside, Payton, 3. Now that falls. A rare jump shot make for him here tonight. Seattle still up by 20. Anderson elects on the pass, baseline intercepted. Now has some open numbers. Boozer open, slams it, puts it through. Carlos Boozer with his 4th make in 6 attempts. So far tonight, he is 4 for 6. Now with 8 points. Looking for a cut is Davis, finding Lewis. Darted up by his former teammate in Mason. Elects to post him up, goes for the layup, rattles loose. 8th rebound for Ilgauskas. Tries to draw contact, instead, will go to the line to shoot 2. Down to the final minute of the 3rd quarter of play here from Seattle. The Supersonics lead 89-66. Wagner guarded up with Palacio. Now has Richmond to work with. Rejected by Big Snacks. James finding Barry. Gives it to Lewis from the corner for 3. No. The Supersonics have been outright dominant here tonight. That's an understatement when it comes to shooting. Palacio rattles that one loose. But when you have a shooting output more than 50% on the game like Seattle, what else can you say? Shot from Barry, swish. Brent Barry, 9 points here tonight. The Cavaliers have needed somebody to step in a big way, not just for the starting line, from the bench. Wagner's the closest to it as he makes the bucket. However, when you have the starting center spot look like this, 32-4, the point differential, a lot can be said. Big Z has been on top of it. He is in foul trouble, though, with 5 personals. Shot clock off, final shot of the quarter. Corner 3, good. Brent Barry, he joins the double-digit club. And it's all Supersonics on Supersonics TV, literally and figuratively. It's 94-68, 4th quarter coming up from Seattle. Welcome to the place where buckets continue to rain down. Supersonics up 94-68 after shooting 49% now through the first 3 quarters. JustinPSports with you. Gary Payton starts off Cleveland shooting with the bucket. The Cavaliers so far tonight, 41% from the field. They have had a lot of struggles from the field. Lewis out to Evans. Trying to search around, finding Anthony. Patapenko tries to roll to the paint, give it to Barry instead. Patapenko, pick and roll, shot, rolls away. Hill on the board, fast break by Wagner. Wagner takes the J, makes the J. Following in Mitch Richmond's footsteps there on the bucket. 94-72 to start off the quarter. Barry gives it up to Anthony, the veteran. The bucket misses. And the Cavaliers need a lot to go on for the drawing board. Wagner, one of the players, able to put notes for the drawing board in the positive column. But they need a lot more positives if they want to make some playoff runs for the future. Lewis tries, open, bucket. It's been that type of a night. Rashard Lewis able to slam it down with the slamma-jamma. Barry nearly strips it away. Kept alive by Jermaine Jones. 90 seconds through. Hill, slam, good.
Assisted by Wagner.
A lot of back and forth starting to form up to start off the fourth quarter of play. 96-76, almost 2 minutes in. JustinPSports with you here on SuperSonics TV network. Lewis, low post. That one alligator armed. Wagner sped up to Payton for the bucket.
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton starting to awaken here. After 3 quarters of play, mind you, the glove picked up the scoring from just the 6 points in the first half to 7 in the third alone. Evans kicked out to Barry, avoids a reach. Now to Topico. Topico puts up the bucket on the cut ahead. Alley-oop response. Lewis deflects it. Kept alive by the veteran Tyrone Hill. Hill drives it back. Timeout called by Seattle as they look to keep things calm, up by 18. They still have control with 9:25 to go in the fourth. Control maintained throughout this fourth quarter. 120-106, 14 points is the closest Cleveland's got it. Make it 12. Is it too little, too late? Possibly. Seattle has just had that type of a dominating night this evening. 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter of play. SuperSonics up in this one. With the win tonight, Seattle to move back to 500 on the season. 18-18 would be the record. Cleveland drops to below 500 by 8 games. Unless they can find a magical 8-point shot. Now by 10 is the deficit. 16 on the shot clock right now. Ilgauskas, he draws a bit of contact. And what a night for Big Z. MVP chance out for Ilgauskas. 42 points, 9 rebounds against his former team. Second one doesn't fall. And so Ilgauskas will likely finish the night with 42 points. What a statement against his former club. Slam dunk by Cleveland. Shot clock not off yet, but may as well be. The SuperSonics on their way to the victory. 121-112. It looks like Cleveland will take it away for one more shot. Miles gives it to Wagner, give it to Jones, takes a 3, missing, and that does it. Seattle is back to the 500 club. 121-112 is the final. So, the Cavaliers drop the matchup. The SuperSonics get the dub. For everyone, a part of our crew, I'm JustinPSports saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening watching SuperSonics TV Network. So the return of Gary Payton and Desmond Mason, it comes early in this series. However, it's the Cavaliers who end up losing to the SuperSonics. Seattle puts up a strong performance led by Big Z with 42 points. Payton, for his effort, did put up a double-double, 25 and 10 assists. However, that was after a big blowout. They did win the fourth quarter. There is that. Now, that means we're at 18 and 18 to start off the middle of January for the next episode. It's a rush towards the postseason and some tests in the next episode. We'll see you then. I'm JustinPSports saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening.